Today we're looking at the native people of Alaska. Hello, welcome to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. Also, don't forget to check out dailybellringer.com where you'll find more resources that go with many of the Bellringer videos. Alaska, a land of majestic mountains, sprawling forest, and icy waters, is also home to a rich tapestry of indigenous cultures that have thrived for thousands of years. The history of Alaska's native people is a journey filled with resilience, adaptation, and cultural richness. It is estimated that 10 to 12,000 years ago, before recorded history, Alaska's first inhabitants crossed over the Bering Land Bridge from Asia into what is now Alaska. These early settlers were hunter-gatherers, relying on the abundant resources of the land and the sea for their survival. They developed distinct cultures and languages, adapting to the differing environments of Alaska, from the Arctic tundra to the temperate rainforest of the southeast. Alaska is home to several major indigenous groups, each with its own unique traditions and ways of life. These include the Inuit, Yupik, Athabascans, Aleut, Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian people, among many others. Each group has its own language, customs, and spiritual beliefs, shaped by their environment and historical experiences. For thousands of years, Alaska's native peoples lived off the land and sea, relying on hunting, fishing, and gathering for their survival. They developed sophisticated technologies and techniques unique to their environments they lived in for harvesting resources, including the use of kayaks, harpoons, and fish traps. It is believed that as early as 1900 BC, the Inuit people had developed sleds pulled by dogs for transportation. These early dog sleds would be used for centuries by native people and gradually evolved into the iconic dog sleds of today's Iditarod dog sled race. Cultural practices such as storytelling, drumming, dancing, and potlatches, which are elaborate gift-giving ceremonies, played a central role in native Alaskan life. Artistic expressions such as carving, weaving, and beadwork were also very important to many native cultures, with each design and motif carrying deep spiritual and cultural significance. One such iconic example of this would be the totem poles that were created by native people primarily in the southeastern region of Alaska. Some of the groups most closely associated with creating these elaborate carvings are the Tlingit, Tsimshian, and Haida. The word totem refers to guardian or ancestral being or spirit that is honored and respected. These totem poles commonly range in height from 10 to 60 feet tall. However, the Tlingit were known to create poles as tall as 100 feet. These totem poles, most commonly carved from cedar, include intricate carvings of animals and supernatural beings, each which hold religious significance to the native tribes. The poles also generally contain a central animal carving, which is a symbol of each individual native group, basically like a family crest that identifies that tribe. Some, although not all, totem poles actually tell stories of the native people and their history. In the mid-1700s, the arrival of European explorers brought significant changes to Alaska's native communities. Russian fur traders established settlements along the coast, leading to exploration and harsh treatment of native people. European explorers brought with them infectious diseases such as smallpox and influenza, of which native people had little to no immunity, resulting in widespread loss of life. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Alaska experienced further colonization by the United States, leading to forced assimilation, or in other words, native people being required to adopt and accept American culture. Government policies such as the establishment of boarding schools and suppression of native languages and culture had a profound lasting impact on Alaska's native communities. Despite centuries of mistreatment, Alaska's native tribes have persevered in their efforts to reclaim their land, rights, and cultural identity. The passage of the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act in 1971 was a major step forward, granting native corporations ownership of millions of acres of land and providing financial compensation. Since then, Alaska's natives have played an increasingly active role in state and national politics, advocating for indigenous rights and environmental protection. The history of Alaska's native peoples is a testament to their resilience, ability to adapt, and their cultural richness. Despite centuries of adversity, Alaska's indigenous communities have maintained their connection to the land, their languages, and their traditions, ensuring that their heritage will endure for generations to come. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.